Hello, Brick Sculptors! Welcome to Brick Sculpt. This is Chris, and I picked up something really cool at the store today. You see, Lego Botanicals have become very popular among the AFO community, and they finally made my daughter's favorite flower, the dandelion. Anybody who's a parent knows that any child who lives in an area with dandelions is going to pick up every single one of them, hand them to you, and expect you to keep it forever. So that's why I say this is my daughter's favorite flower. They don't call it a dandelion, they call it field flowers. It's got 3 pieces in here. And I actually picked up 2 of these in these cool new paper bags. These typically have been poly bags, but it looks like they're trying to go a little more eco-friendly, so that's cool. That one is still sealed and in the bag, but I had a chance to build the other one, and here are the 3 pieces. Now, keep in mind, this was only $5, so I'm not going to complain too much, but there are some things I really like about these, and some things I really think they could have done better. And we're going to talk about it, and then I'm going to show you what I built. First of all, this is a little piece of field grass. Pretty cool. I like it. That's not really going to be the focus of this video today. We're going to be doing dandelions. Now, things I like. First of all, these leaves, absolutely perfect. These look just like dandelion leaves. The old school palm tree leaves, I mean, they could have done better on those. Those are perfect. The other thing I really like, super creative how to make the kind of end-of-life dandelion flower, the one where the seeds are going to go spread everywhere. The colors are great. The technique is fantastic. I could not have thought of that on my own, so well done, Lego. Now, those are the 2 things I like. What don't I like? Number 1, the stems. This one's too thin. This one's too thick. And I looked at a bunch of pictures of dandelions. I'm like, oh, maybe when they're, at the end of life for the flower, these get real thin and change color. They really don't. They kind of stay the same color throughout. And that stem color that they stay is not like either of these. This is too thick. I have seen some pretty hardy, thick dandelions. They're usually not this dark green. They're usually a lighter green and thinner in between the 2 of these. Thinner than this, thicker than this, and neither of these are the correct green, in my opinion. The other thing I really am bothered by, this flower. Now, again, this is a $5 little poly bag or paper bag in this case. So I'm not complaining here, but this is pretty weak here. We have one of the new sunflower pieces in the middle of some of these cogs or wheels. I think they're like Technic cogs. Pretty weak looking if I'm being honest. So I think we could do better. The other thing I really don't like, location of the leaves. Now I get why they did this. They're displaying it in a pot. So they're on the side, but dandelion leaves don't grow like this. You have a cluster of leaves on the bottom, stems coming out from the middle. That's how dandelions grow. So we're going to take this and we're going to hopefully improve on it. Let me show you what I came up with. So as always, with my plant builds, I'm going to start with a base. This is just what I like to use to display them, but you can use whatever you want. And then I decided to build out from there. Now, like I said, the leaves start at the bottom and the stems come out from the middle. So I started with this here. This is one of these 4-sided Technic pieces here with clips all around it. I've just got some bar pieces on here that I can attach to. I've got a 3-long bar down the middle and a 1x1 round with open stud there to hold it in place. And that's going to be the base for my dandelion. So I'm going to stick that on here at an angle. And then we can start to build out from that. Now, first of all, like I said, the leaves are perfect, so I'm going to stick with them. But we need more of them. So I made clusters. I've got a big one and 2 small ones of the old-fashioned palm tree leaves. The top one here is just pinned in with my pinning technique using one of these small stem pieces. The bottom one's just stuck on there. And I made 4 of these. Whoop, see, this one's already fallen apart. 3, 4. And we're just going to put these all the way around this base here to give us a nice cluster of leaves coming out from the center. Now, from the observations I've made from dandelions, they kind of make almost like a cone, and usually we're surrounded by grass here. So they kind of cone up like this, and we'll have all of our stems come out of the middle of this cluster. If this is too many leaves for you, you can always pop some of these off, just like this, which actually might even look better. Maybe we'll just leave it like that for now. You can tailor it however you want, of course, if you're building one of these on your own. I'm going to leave it like that. I actually like that a little better. All right, next we need to build a new dandelion because this, to me, this isn't working. All right, so let's start with the stem. Well, I said this is too thick and too dark. This is too thin and too light. This is perfect. What are these? Candlesticks in bright green. To me, this looks like the perfect dandelion stem, so that's what we're going to use. We're going to do this one up the middle, and I need to put a flower on top, and I'm going to show you how I built a flower. Now, the flower was tricky because Lego doesn't make a flower that large, so we had to build one out of other pieces. Now, I was inspired by the sunflower piece, and I thought that was the perfect piece to start with, so that's the basis for my flower. Now, on typical dandelions, you have some little green leaves that hang below the dandelion head, which are the leaves that wrap around it until it opens and they kind of fall down and die. So I've got some dark green there on the bottom, and that's going to go on the top of my stem. I'm going to stagger these. I've got 2 of them there. On top of that, I've got this little cluster here. I've got 2 1x1 rounds with open stud. I got one of these hexagonal pieces with 6 different connections around the outside in reddish brown, and a 2 long bar piece down the middle. And that's going to go right on top of this. And that's what I'm going to build my flower off of. Now for the flower, I have a combination of different parts. Number 1 is going to be this. I've got a basic flower in there. I've got 2 sunflower pieces and a reddish brown clip. I'm going to need 3 of those. And it's very important that you have 2 sunflowers on each one because it helps fill out the flower nicely. The next variation is going to be this one here. 1 sunflower, 1 regular flower, and one of these 45-degree pieces in green. And I'm going to need 3 of those as well. And then for the middle, I'm going to take a 2x2 round plate, another sunflower, and 1 flower on top. And that'll just help fill out the middle a little better. And now we're ready to assemble our flower. So we can just alternate using this hexagonal piece. We're going to put the clip pieces on first, and then the 45-degree pieces fill in between, like that. Make sure they're all nice and close together. And then right in the middle there, we're going to take our 2x2 round plate, stick it down in there, and that is my dandelion. What do you think? Improvement? I think so. So there's one, but as we know, dandelions don't come in one single stem. No, they come in clusters. So we need to build more of these. I built 4 dandelion heads here, and I'm going to need stems for all of those. Now, dandelions often have flowers in different stages of bloom. So these ones are all fully bloomed, but you also often have some that are still closed up and just have a little bit of yellow sticking out. So here I just took a couple of these 3 stem pieces, a couple of 1x1 rounds with open studs, and a single flower on the end. Those are going to be kind of the new heads that haven't opened yet. So I got 2 of those as well. So we have 6 flowers on this cluster. Now for the cluster, I started with one of these 3 branching pieces. This is a newer piece from Lego and very handy. And that's going to go right down on the middle here, just like that. And then this straight one's going to be my main stem right out of the middle of that cluster, right there. And then we're just going to build off these other 3. Now I have 3 stems here, and I have 5 remaining dandelions to put on. So we need to still branch out a little bit. I built these out of a mixture of candlesticks, these little J-bend stems, 45-degree green pieces if I want to put an angle on it, and some thinner ones. This is going to be for one of the newer heads. It'll stick on just like that. And then the bigger ones will go off these thicker stems, like that. So there's one. This one's real simple, just candlesticks and a 45-degree. There we go. And then I've got one here with a J-bend and a hot dog. That'll have another one of these unbloomed dandelion heads on it. And we just want to give it a lot of different angles. That's why we've got different curves and angles. And then we can just start to plug these in around the outside here and make a nice little bouquet of dandelions, if you will. And we can move the angles here, get them closer into the middle, have them facing really whatever direction we want. You can really have fun with this and make it look however you want it to. And then we're going to want to move our leaves up a little bit. And to me, that is a beautiful dandelion. If there ever was one. All right, now of course I couldn't stop there. I had to make this version as well, the end-of-life dandelion. So let's go ahead and get started on that. I'm actually going to just have the base pre-made here. Very similar to the previous one, but I didn't use one of those 3 pieces in the bottom. I just used a 2x2 round plate with 4 of these inkwell nipple pieces, whatever you want to call them, and branches coming off. And then we need to put dandelion heads on them. Now, I decided I could not improve on this design. I did, however, add these little brown stems on the bottom to show the dead leaves underneath. But I have 2 of those heads, just like the one from the Lego set. But then I did need some dead ones. You know, everyone knows that when you see these, you blow the flowers off, and then they end up looking like this. So this just has a 1x1 round tile on it in tan, and of course sometimes a few of them get left behind. So we have 2 different heads there that are in different stages of completion. So here, we're going to put that one on the top, and then we can take this bigger one and stick it off the side here, and then maybe right here will be our bare one. And right off this side, we'll have one that's just missing most of them. I think that turned out super cool as well. So obviously this is going to be more elaborate than what Lego came up with, because these would obviously cost more than $5 in Lego. But this was a ton of fun to build, and I think I really improved on the design, so I'm quite happy with it. Let me know below what you guys think. And if you like this video, please like and subscribe and do more just like this in the future. That's life for this time, and we will see you next time.